Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the gentle hills of western Germany, where the borders of three nations meet, stands one of the most extraordinary buildings in European history. Not the tallest, not the largest, but perhaps the most profound. This is Aachen Cathedral. The Aachener Dome, the place where Charlemagne, the father of Europe, chose to build his vision of a new Christian empire. For more than 12 centuries, its stones have witnessed coronations and burials, pilgrimages and prayers. It is the oldest cathedral in Northern Europe, and in 1978, it became the very first German site included on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Today, it remains a living symbol of the continent's shared past. To understand the Aachen Cathedral, we must travel back to the later 8th century. The year is around 719. The man who will become known as Charles the Great, Charlemagne, has already forged an empire stretching from the Pyrenees to the Elbe. He is a warrior, a lawgiver, a patriot of learning.
Saxons, your defiance is broken. Kneel before the might of the Franks. We submit, great king, see upon us. Hey!
But he is also a man who dreams of unity. He chooses his modest Frankish royal estate, already famous for its warm springs since Roman times, as his favorite residence. Here, aimed at the healing waters, he will build not just a palace, but a temple worthy of his ambitions. The architect he summons is order of mass. The design he approves is revolutionary. Construction begins around 796. By 805, Pope Leo III himself will consecrate what is then called the Palatine Temple. It's no ordinary church. Its core is an octagon, 8 sides symbolizing the 8 days of recreation, the day of resurrection. The central dome rises 31 meters above the floor. The fourth vaulted structure of its kind north of the Alps since the fall of Rome. Inspired by the glittering churches of the Byzantine East, especially the Basilica of San Vitali in Ravenna, Charlemagne's orders marble columns and bronze doors hold all the way from Italy and Constantinople. Some of those very columns still stand today, silent witnesses to an emperor's reign. Now, step inside the Palatine Temple today, and you feel the weight of centuries. The lower level is ringed by 8 massive piers supporting round arches. Above, a 2-story gallery, the Hauptmantery, once reserved for the emperor himself. Light pours through triple tiers of arched windows, illuminating walls once clad in marble and glittering mosaics. The Great Dome, originally covered in vast mosaics of Christians enthroned among the elders of the Apocalypse, was recreated in the 19th century by Venetian craftsmen. Its golden glow still takes the breath away, and hanging beneath it, the Barbarossa chandelier, a colossal bronze wheel given by Emperor Frederick Barbarossa in 1165. Its 48 candles, a blazing reminder of imperial piety. And then look closer, and the details astonish. The massive brown doors, the Wolf's door, cast in a single piece around the year 800, weighing over 2 tons. Legend says the devil himself helped finish the cathedral when funds ran low, only to be tricked by a wolf sent through first. To this day, you can see the devil's thumb caught in a lion-hand door knocker. The marble throne of Charlemagne, simple yet profound, sits in the western gallery. Made of plain white slabs, some said to come from the Holy Land, it was not merely a seat of power. "31 German kings were enthroned upon it between 936 and 1531, each one claiming the legacy of the great emperor. After anointing at the altar of the Virgin, they would climb the 6 steps, echoing Solomon's throne, and sit here, facing the high altar, to receive the crown of the Holy Roman Empire. But the cathedral we see today is far more than Charlemagne's original temple. Over the centuries, it grew, layer upon layer, like a living history book. In the 14th century, a soaring Gothic choir was added, nearly doubling the size. Its 13-meter high walls pierced by over 1,000 square meters of stained glass. Modeled on the Saint-Pierre in Paris, it was built to house the cathedral's most precious relics during the Great Aachen Pilgrimage, held every 7 years since 1349. The 4 sacred relics, the swaddling clothes of the infant Jesus, the longing clothes Christ wore on the cross, the dress of the Virgin Mary, and the clothes that covered the hand of John the Baptist, still draw hundreds of thousands of pilgrims today. And then there is the treasury, one of the richest ecclesiastical collections north of the Alps. Here, in golden splendor, rests the Carl, the magnificent 13th century red quarry shrine that holds Charlemagne's remains, moved here in 1215 by Frederick II. Nearby, the silver and gold bust of the emperor himself, crafted in the 14th century. The Laurel Cross, sent with the ancient cameo of Emperor Augustus. The marble sarcophagus that once held Charlemagne's body, carved in the 3rd century with the myth of Proserpina. Each object tells a story of faith, power, and the enduring bond between the earthly rulers and the divine. Aachen Cathedral has endured fire, Viking raids, and the bombs of the Second World War. In 1944, much of the city was reduced to rubble. Yet the Vatican stood firm. Decades of painstaking restorations have returned it to its former glory. Today, more than 1.3 million visitors a year walk these aisles. They come not only as tourists, but as pilgrims, to a place that still serves as the cathedral of the Diocese of Aachen, where daily worship continues unbroken for over 1,200 years. Aachen Cathedral is more than stone and glass. It is the physical embodiment of Charlemagne's dream, a unified Christian Europe. a bridge between the ancient world and the Middle, between East and West. Its origin inspired cathedrals across the continent. Its strongly shaped empires. Its relics have drawn the faithful for centuries. In an age when we often look forward, forgetting the past, this building reminds us for our shared foundations. So, the next time you stand in its shadow, remember, you are not merely visiting a cathedral, you are standing where Europe itself was born. Thank you for watching. If you like, please share and subscribe. See you next episode.